Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm not gonna lie, I thought that the last time that we covered Modern Warfare content here on the channel, when we saw like the RAW release and the Iskra bundle drop a few weeks back, I figured, well, that's probably it for the main content on Modern Warfare. And really the only thing that we'd ever see mentioned of the game on the channel until MW 2022 rolls around is just like the basic weekly playlist updates, which literally take up probably 40 seconds out of the entire week of content, right? But lo and behold, here we are today, as over the past few days, some new missing Modern Warfare content has surfaced and it's got quite a few people talking. So as we break down both the good news and the bad news regarding this new stuff, if you enjoyed the video at any point, let me know by dropping a like on it. Let's shoot for 3,000 likes on this one. And of course, if you're new to the channel or if you have not already subscribed, this is the place to be for everything going on in COD. News, intel, updates, loadouts, you name it. So feel free to subscribe, that way you can always stay up to date. So as I was saying, I figured we probably wouldn't be talking about anything major when it comes to Modern Warfare 2019 content really until next year comes around and we get closer to the launch of MW2 or Modern Warfare 2022, whatever the new game from Infinity Ward next year is going to be called, right? Because frankly, everything that we knew was supposed to be coming to Modern Warfare has ended up releasing. Obviously, we saw the Psychov and we saw Sparks, we saw the CX-9 and Soap, we saw the RAL LMG, we saw the whole Iskra Dead of Winter bundle, we saw the Rainbow Sparkles bundle. Everything that we've had in the MW files that has been leaked for, months and months and months has ended up releasing over the course of the past couple of months. And that was all sort of just extra content, right? It seemed like it was planned for a supposed Season 7 if that was ever going to happen, but obviously it did not, so they just sort of dropped it randomly throughout random seasons here in Cold War and Warzone. Now, that said, a couple of days back, Reddit user PurplePerson9 ended up posting a new series of images basically of an unused weapon or an unreleased weapon that we have not seen in Modern Warfare 2019 on a map that we also have not seen in the game. Just gonna preface, can't show anything on screen because it is leaked content. I don't want to, risk a copyright strike or anything like that. I will leave a link to this Reddit post down in the description below if you want to go and check it out for yourself. But basically, what this is some images of the SN_Gamma 3 weapon, which basically comes out to being the G3. SN is a prefix for snipers and marksman rifles within the actual game code itself. And the G3 obviously is a weapon that we've seen previously in other Call of Duty games, and it was actually leaked, I want to say a long time ago for Modern Warfare 2019, and ultimately just never ended up releasing. But it sort of resurfaced over the past couple of days, and people are saying, hey, we've had this leaked just like we had the CX-9 and the RAL and whatnot. What if this ends up coming to the game? And honestly, just, bearer of bad news, unfortunately, I don't think this is a weapon that we'd be seeing anytime soon. Now, for what it's worth, that is just me simply speculating and theorizing that we probably wouldn't see it soon because it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense at this point, just because there's really not the hype there for this weapon and potentially for this map either. And we'll get to this a little bit later on into the video on why I think it'll come eventually, just, not in the near future like what we had with the previous unreleased content that, like I said, is all obviously out by now. But the G3, it's been leaked for a while. It resurfaced here. This is a potential weapon we could end up seeing at some point in the future. But alongside this, there was also a map that was sort of quote unquote revealed that, again, we've had in the game files for a little bit now, but really nothing ever came of it. It's called MP_Furnace. Now, if you were to see the post on Reddit, you're basically on like a bridge for this up in the mountains. And this is actually taken directly from the final mission of the Modern Warfare 2019 campaign called Into the Furnace. It also looks very similar to the whole like ending bridge scene at the end of I think COD Forward is. So that's where that map actually stems from, Into the Furnace, that actual campaign mission. As we know, pretty much all the Modern Warfare maps are sort of intertwined in the general world that they have there, just because that's sort of how they built them out. That's why you can go into theater mode in MW 2019 and see various different maps all next to each other, especially with like the ground war stuff, and that's sort of how we have the whole Verdansk area in Warzone now. But the reason I'm saying don't get your hopes up about this content, like I said, is because at the moment it just doesn't make all that much sense, especially with Vanguard right around the corner. Pretty much all the content focus as far as, surprises and whatnot, it's all on Vanguard at this point. Adding in Modern Warfare 2019 content would be awesome, and obviously there's still a huge player base for it, but to me, it makes a whole lot more sense that these could potentially be used as promotional material for the new Infinity Ward game in 2022, MW 2022 for the sake of this video. Something that we've seen a lot in the past is an old game that's, getting its next installment in the series, whether it be Black Ops 2 going into Black Ops 3, Black Ops 3 going into Black Ops 4, or MW 2019 now going into MW 2022. Hey, we're trying to build hype for the new game. Let's, secretly drop in a new MW weapon into Modern Warfare and also Warzone, of course. Maybe even throw in a new multiplayer map for Modern Warfare as well. Now, keep in mind, this is, just like I said, me theorizing about how they could potentially use this content, but by no means does this mean that we're going to see the G3 and the Furnace multiplayer map actually added into MW and into Warzone. Because there is actually a ton of different cut content that we've seen over the course of Modern Warfare, and the G3 and Furnace could very well just end up in that larger pool of content that they had, ideally wanted to put into the game, but it just didn't end up making it into the final release once all the seasons were said and done. We've had, obviously, other multiplayer maps. One in specific is called Ferrita, and this was actually previewed in the whole initial multiplayer reveal trailer for Modern Warfare 2019. Joe Seacott at one point in time on Twitter specifically said that this was planned for a DLC map, and then it never released. We've also had a ton of different LTM modes for Warzone, limited time modes is what I just said, that was redundant. But we had all these modes that were also leaked a long time ago that we still have yet to see whether they are, pieces of actual cut content, or maybe they're just in the whole content pipeline for way down the road, potentially like what the G3 in this new map could be. We don't really know, but we have things like Non-Stop, which is an LTM where apparently the whole circle never stops moving. It's just a constant collapse. There is no zones. It's just, it starts coming in and never stops until the game is completely over and everyone's dead, except for one person, obviously, and there's the sole winner. We also have a mode called Pew Pew, where apparently pistols do way more damage, and things like the Desert Eagle would be incredibly good, like a one-shot kill. We have Inflation Redeployment, which, going off the name means that every single time you buy a player back off your squad, the price gets more and more expensive. Imagine spending $10,000 on your buddy because he just keeps dying to fall damage or gets toasted every single time he ends up picking up a weapon. You got to know when to stop at some point. You're like, hey man, I like you, but the UAV at this point is $6,000 cheaper. We've also seen other things like Prop Hunt in a sort of sandbox arena or area for Warzone also leaked a long time ago. And obviously, these are things that have never ended up coming to fruition. So yes, there is some new missing Modern Warfare content out there. Yes, the G3 has been leaked and it's sort of resurfaced here. Furnace is a semi-new development, but we've also heard, rumors about it through the game files and whatnot over the course of time. But while they are sort of resurfacing now and they're getting a lot of eyes on them saying, hey, this is new content. We don't have this yet. Is it coming to the game? Potentially, but by no means is it confirmed. And with so much cut content already being out there and being leaked to the public over the course of, the last 2 years, there's no saying whether or not this content will ever come to the game. So I've seen a lot of people commenting about this, whether it be, on my videos or over on Twitter, which, by the way, if you don't follow me over there, feel free to do so. Just a forewarning, just because it's there doesn't mean it's actually going to be coming to the game at some point in time. It very well could. And like I said, I think if it does, it'll be used as promotional material for the next game. But don't get your hopes up as of right now, unfortunately. Trust me, I love to see some new Modern Warfare content. Anything to get me back on MW multiplayer would be awesome. But it doesn't really make sense at this current moment in time. So, that's everything that we currently know about this new leaked content, about this new missing Modern Warfare content. That's going to do it for today. If you enjoyed the video, let me know by dropping a like on it. Would be seriously appreciated. And of course, if you're new here or if you have not already subscribed, feel free to do so. That way you can always stay up to date with everything going on in COD. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.